Well, good morning, everybody. I thought I'd go out and check my plants in the greenhouse this morning and maybe even plant some more seeds. So we'll see what we come up with out here this morning. I had some peas and green bush beans and some broccoli that I thought, well, no, not the broccoli, but I'm definitely going to plant the beans. I don't know why I brought the broccoli seed out here with me. But, like I said, I thought I'd plant some more seeds this morning. Just I can get this set up here. And since this is a big pot, I'm going to plant more than one type of pea in it. Like I got these, they're Alaskan peas. I'm going to put some of those in there. See, those are the type of peas you'll get. Because it is going to warm up after today a little bit. I mean, we may still get another freeze, but... And these are tender green bush beans, but they grow really long. So I'm going to try those in here too. And that's the way those seeds look, or the peas look. And if it starts getting too thick, I can always thin them out, move them somewhere else. But I definitely don't want this spot to go to waste. And I'm just going to put one in each hole, and you got to bury them about an inch deep for these. And I'm going to end up putting a pot, I think, right up here too, with something in it. Maybe even a broccoli, I'm not sure. Let me see if I got a pot that I can put over there. Doesn't need to be a big one. Dig it down just a tiny bit because I want it to be in the dirt some. And in fact, I'm going to put some of this excess dirt that I'm digging out in my pot. help keep the pot moist in the bottom. Only put it down there a couple of inches. And I think, you know what, just as an experiment, I'm going to try planting the broccoli in there. Heirloom broccoli. I mean, it may be too early. I don't know. But we'll find out. And I only put a couple of seeds in there. They were basically the ones that was stuck up here in the lid. And I'm gonna get over here and sorry about that, I turned it the wrong way. I'm gonna get some compost tea to water them with. I'd rather use it in this if I can get some of the compost tea out without all that debris in it. Look at there at my cabbage. My Chinese cabbage. A little bit to the leeks. Yeah, the cabbage are liking it since I transplanted them. And I think we're supposed to get some rain about Wednesday. If they don't change again. See, I still got me three of these things left to decide what to do with. Oh, meat. Yeah, those cabbages are liking it since I've transplanted them. Probably don't need to water them. They're probably still wet enough, but I don't like for them to dry out too much. And this is compost tea, so it's fertilizer. Oh, look at there. I got another little friend. Isn't he cute? Look at there. He's another little sweetheart. See, I'm not putting much. But that is a little bit of compost tea, you know, and I had put black cow in it. It'll give them a little bit of a spurt whenever it does rain this week. He's checking out the garden. Yeah, he's checking out the garden. Yeah, look at there. He's checking out the garden. He's checking out the garden. Yes, he is. He's checking out the garden. Yeah. Checking out the garden. He wants to play. I think I'm going to go out here and check on my zinnias. I mean, not my zinnias, my marigolds. And see, this would be a perfect place to plant some of those rose bushes right along where I got those logs for a fence. I could make a beautiful row of rose bushes all along there to help give a privacy fence to the garden. Since I've already got rose bushes planted there, I could plant rose bushes on the back side and just go straight across. Well, to even it out, I could plant a rose bush right down there at the corner of that rock garden, run it on across till it meets the arbor, and then plant them over on the other side. But I don't know if I can dig a hole. I think that was what my problem was. I don't think I was able to dig a hole out here to plant them in. I'll have to get my shovel and find out. Yeah, they're coming on up. Got 2 or 3 of them in that one. But see, again, they need watering. Some of them stay pretty moist, and I can see the other ones are kind of dried out a little bit. So let's go get us a bucket of compost tea to put in there. Oh, you're going to christen my garden by peeing on it. Oh, well. Oh, well, he's smelling the flower. He's smelling the flowers. More standing on my head. But I want to show you something. as you can see, I'm at the bottom. Well, let me get this turn around. I'm at the bottom of the bucket, and I didn't have food scraps or anything to put in there, but I do have some now. Let me go get them. I will be right back. I'm just going to leave the camera sitting right there. But I'm going to leave that little bit of compost tea down in there. And I've got banana peelings, eggshells, potato peelings, you name it. Tea bags, look at there. I got a few tea bags. And I'm putting the whole tea bag in there because that little bit of paper is made to break down. And I'm just going to dump it right in there. Eggshells, potato peelings, everything. And like I said, I did not I left that 2 or 3 inches of compost tea in the bottom and a little bit of sludge that was in the bottom. And I'm not putting any more black cow in it because I still got plenty in there. And I'm just going to fill my bucket up with water. And I want you to see this. Let me see if I can get hold of the camera. I'm kind of barricaded in with these rose bushes sitting here. I want to show you what I'm doing. See all that? Down in there with that, I don't know, about 3 inches of compost tea that was in the bottom. That's all the sludge that was left from the black cow and the other stuff that I had in there that had broken down already. I've added scraps. I'm simply going to fill it up with water. So you still got plenty of black cow in there. And you just keep using it until your water runs clear. You can add your table scraps. Maybe once a month or so, add another half a cup of black cow. Because you don't have to put that in there that often with all your table scraps. You've got plenty. And really, you don't even have to put black cow in there. But I don't have that many table scraps usually. So I use something else like black cow or my fish emulsion that I've got in the shed until I use it up. And like I said, I don't put that in there every time. I may put it in there once a month, once a month and a half, just depending. If I've got plenty of table scraps in there, I won't even put it in there. And when it warms up, all that stuff will break down a lot faster. I probably need to start making coffee in my coffee pot using my grounds and start dumping some grounds in there too. He's after something. And you see how dark that water is? That's all that black cow. And it's all of the other broken down matter that was in there. So you only use that black cow once or twice for the whole summer. And that is if you run low on your... Well, what am I doing? I need to leave the lid off because I need to get some more of the tea to go water the the marigolds out there, because a couple of the pots are drying out. I mean, see how dark that is? You don't need to add anything to that at this point except some of your your broken down fruit, not broken down food scraps, but any food scraps. Peelings. Like I said, they love banana peelings. It puts potassium in the soil. And I think that's going to be enough. Put that on there good and snug. Take our water can over here. That needs to be watered too. That dries out pretty fast. And it does come out kind of hard when you put it in a spray spout like this, because a lot of that stuff that's broke down in the tea clogs up the little holes. So you have to just keep working with it. I need to put more dirt in some of these. Like that pink one, it needs some dirt. That's the only thing about out here is the pots are small and they're not sitting on top of another pot. So they get dried out real fast. And look at there at some of my friends. That's ants. I'm going to have to put some ant granules on that today. Just sprinkle a few on there. But look at there. That wasn't even covered up and it survived all the cold weather. It died down, but it come back. And there's my onions. It takes those onions a while to grow because they, let's face it, they were cut off of another onion. And they put down roots. They got to put down really good roots and then they'll start growing. Put the rest of that compost tea right in this. I water the top tier and that way it drips down and goes into the other. Let me put this down. I want to pour out the tea that's in the bottom of it. That bucket. Really, for that one, I need the other. I don't like to put it in the top because I knew that was going to happen. I moved the camera around so much that I get like crazy with it and it falls over on me. Oh, this is the one I need for this, not that. The one with the spout on it. I mean the sprayer. And as strong as that compost tea is, I'm going to put that little bit in there, in that tower, and then I'm going to water it with the garden hose. Because it doesn't have to be that strong. Yeah, I'm the worst with this camera. But I water it from the top. That way all that compost tea will get on all the plants. And then I simply take my garden hose and put water in the top. Well, when I turn the hose back on. That's one thing that's kind of neat about these towers. Water the top tier, and whatever's in the top tier will drip down to the lower tiers. So if you put fertilizer or anything else in there, it'll end up on all 4 tiers. It looks like I need to start replanting stuff in the bottom one. So that compost tea will drip down through all 5 or 4 tiers. And it was strong enough that the water diluting it down a little bit is fine. Because when your compost tea is that strong, you can put half water and half compost tea to your bucket, and it's plenty. It's already starting to drop down in the bottom one. Yeah, that's one thing you have to watch out for planting in totes and buckets. Even though the ground is damp, your buckets and totes and towers may dry out because they dry out a lot faster than the ground does. And according to the directions with your tower, you have enough water in your tower when you have water coming out your spout right down there and going in your little container. So they claim whenever that happens, you've got enough in your container, you don't need to water it anymore till the next time. I don't know why the Brussels sprouts on the bottom died and the ones on the top stayed alive. It's kind of weird. But you can see it's draining. When it starts doing that, you don't need to water it anymore. And I bought that back when I was working, so, you know, I had the money at that point to buy something like that. With me not working, I really don't have the money to spare. But they are neat to have. I mean, when you have to grow in totes and buckets, those towers are amazing. And I wanted to come over here and take a look at, well, take a look at the greenhouse. Because it's been a couple of days since I checked my plants in here. Move my potatoes out. And my tree collard. And my aloe vera. Oh. But one thing I want to show you. I moved my cilantro. The pot that I planted the cilantro seeds in that I saved from last year. And look at there. Since I moved them in here, they're coming up. So I guess I'll have cilantro. And I need to take that off because it's going to get too hot on it. And there goes my tiny Tims. They're looking even better. Tiny Tim there. A couple of them are sprouted out. You can barely see them. But like I said, you can make you a little greenhouse mini one to start a couple of plants just in a big 2-liter clear bottle. And here is my lettuce. Look at that. And it looks like I got way too many seeds in there. They're kind of falling over, but... and they're not deep enough, really. Some of them got roots on them and they're above the ground. Or above the dirt. But see here how they soaked up every bit of that moisture? And the main thing is with your seedlings is not to let them dry out. I'm going to put that. See if I can move those down. Yeah, because those little roseback bushes there are kind of iffy. I'm not sure they're going to make it or not. This one is trying to put out new growth. That one is trying to, but I'm not sure it's going to. These down here at the bottom are kind of iffy too. They're not looking too good. But like I said, I don't expect all of them to do anything. I mean, look, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 over here on this side that are growing good. And that one back there is my yellow rose. So, and I've still got some down in my totes that are growing. So, and look at there at all my seeds. And like I said, all of them have not come up. My bell pepper has not sprouted. I mean, some of it is barely. Look at that right in the middle of that cup. Both of them. That seed is sprouted. So there you go. My tomatoes, my bell pepper. The main thing is don't let them dry out. And see, I've still got rose bushes in there trying to grow. And my seeds coming up. Look at there. That one there needs to be sprayed. Water, water, water. Let me put this camera down. Yeah, I got that square cup needs to be sprayed on the top. And with these warm days coming up, I mean, almost all of that water is soaked up from the bottom. There's a little bit in that corner because that's the low corner. I didn't get it quite high enough back there. But I'll at least have to come out here tomorrow and put more water in there. That one's got plenty of water. And see how those rose bushes are doing? Most of them that are in there look like they're going to make it. Now that one back there in the corner, I think it'll make it. It looks like it's trying to put out new growth, but it does look kind of straggly. And that littlest one right there, it doesn't look too good. But I'll leave it for a few more days and see what happens. And of course my kale and my sweet banana peppers and all that, they haven't been in there long enough to come up yet. But I'm sure they're working on it. So, and that's got plenty of water in it. So I'm just going to leave it. But there you go. That's the update on my, roses. And that one's trying to put out new growth. That one right there. So I'm going to leave it. But I'm going to put this back here. Yeah, I need to start cutting down on the seeds that I put in each little individual cup, because I know that's way too many seeds in there. I didn't realize I got that many seeds in it. And my little onions. I don't know, I probably need to put a few more seeds in there. But yeah, see, I usually try to root my, oh, and look at there. That's running over. I probably need to take it and put it in that tote that needs water. I might do that. Don't want to waste that tea. And I'm sorry about that. I got my butt in your face again. I'm making a mess. I need to put it in that bucket with a spout. But I almost got a half a bucket of compost tea out of that little container. And the water's still running, so I'll get even more. Oh, man. But I'm just trying to put a little bit more compost tea in there. And I don't want to run it in the pots. So I'm just barely running it down the side of the tote on the inside. And that's probably enough. Now I'm going to have to come in here and wash out the top of my pot there, because I poured that compost tea all over it. And I don't like for it to dry on there. Makes it look dirty. I put a little bit on my potatoes and I need to make some more of those tops, those net covers, I guess, to put on some of my other plants. Yeah, put a little bit of that compost tea on my red potatoes. Don't want them to be soggy, but probably need a little bit between now and Wednesday, because this is Sunday. Oh man, I'm going to put this right there to keep that wind from blowing that away. Yeah, you know, I had made a video on making these. And I just covered up the plants to give them ample time to grow, because bugs and things love collards, and that is a tree collard. And since it cost me so much to get that thing, I was not going to let the bugs eat it up. The cooler weather, they grow better without the bugs bothering them. The warmer it gets, the more you have to worry about those bugs and the worms. Yeah, but I'm glad I moved my cilantro in here, because that'll give it ample chance to grow. And you know what? I probably need to, I didn't even think about that. Let me get, and since it's got the saucer, I can just put some compost tea right in the saucer, and hopefully it'll, and put a little bit more in the top. Pour it in there easy because I don't want it to disturb the seeds. That little bit of dirt was drying out a tiny bit, but that was enough compost tea right there to put on it. So see, don't waste your compost tea. If you can, put you a tube or something in it, just like the green stalk tree collar, the tree tower, how they made a compartment in the bottom to catch the water, and then they send you that tube with the tower to catch your excess water. That way you can re-water something else with the water you catch in there, or the compost tea you catch. So, mint's looking good. I'm never worried about the mint. That stuff, you could abuse it and it'll grow. And I'm about my greenhouse just like I am my house. I don't like stuff to get messed up. In fact, when I get through doing this video, I'm probably going to go in and start cleaning house a little bit. Like vacuuming and that good stuff. And I don't have OCD or nothing like that. But just that little bit of compost tea poured on the top of my lids, I don't like it. So I'm washing them off. But yeah, hopefully I'll have me some early tomatoes this year. Put a little bit more water on those. And that one. Doesn't take much because I watered them the other day. So there. I'm going to leave my aloe vera and stuff out for a while today. And I'm just closing that back up to keep critters from going in there. Now, see, check on these out here. Yep, they're looking good. They're looking like real carrots now. A cabbage. It's another cabbage. And another cabbage. And that one in there is a cabbage. And I had this extra one that I already had made, so I just went ahead and stuck it over there. Like I said, I need to make a few more. I just haven't done it. And if you want to know how I did that, you can go back and look at some of my older videos. And I have a video on how I made it. I've got over 200 videos, guys, so if you're new subscribers, go back and watch my older videos and get caught up. Look at there. I think they're going to like it here. Isn't that beautiful? That was my first rose cutting that we planted out here. And there's the other one. It's fixing to open a flower right there. There's a bud in there. And my yellow rose bush. That yellow rose bush has been there so many years, and it just now is starting to look good. And there's the other one. Got that big bud at the top, so that's going to put out a pretty flower in a few days. And I need to do something with this, because I don't know, I think it stays too wet. I think I need to put another couple of holes in it, because I've only got one hole in it, I think. Well, I got 2 holes. A few holes right there. What I need to do is actually drill it out a little bit more and just make one big hole right there. And I've tried to lean it backwards so it'll drain out. Or lean it one way to where the holes are on the lower side. Maybe that'll work. I've tipped it over that way toward the holes. That'll help it drain a little bit more. And I probably need to think about planting something in that this year. I don't know what yet. Come up with something that likes the water. Don't know what it'll be. Yeah, all of those bulbs, they need water. But I haven't been out here to water them. I may do that tomorrow. My little buddy's not around today. I had the little doggy instead. I'm gonna go check my mailbox. I don't think I checked my mail yesterday. I need to repaint it. It's starting to look kind of bad. Yep, got mail. Nothing but advertisements. Thank God I didn't get another bill yesterday. And I think I put marigold seeds in the buckets out here, didn't we, the other day? I don't see any coming up yet. Yeah, well, there's something coming up right there. That might be one of the other flower seeds that was in there. Who knows? But those mums are trying to come out good in those pots. And look there, I got 2 moonflowers. There's one, and there's one. So that's 2 so far that are coming back up from last year. Oh, there's one. Looking at some of these other ones. Yeah, usually if you plant your moonflowers one time and they survive, usually you don't have to replant them every time. I don't know what that is. Probably some kind of wildflower seed I planted. And I don't know about the back side of this. Doesn't get as much sun as the other side, so anything that grows back there comes up later. But here's some of my seeds. I think what I'm going to do and that was a plant that was growing from last year. I'm going to take them out here and see if I can plant them in here. If I can get my camera set up here so you can see without it falling over. There you go. I don't know if the seeds are good, but these seeds are good. That's the way they're supposed to look right there. If your seeds are, see how it's got the black on one end? It's not focusing very well there. But that's two good seeds right there. That's how the marigold seeds are supposed to look when you break them out. See, these, all of them didn't mature, but I'm going to throw them in there anyway. Like these did mature. See the black on them? Oh man, my nose is running. Yeah, these are good too. There's not many in this one, but they're good. So I'm going to throw them over here in this other pot. And I'll cover them up a little bit in a minute. Put a few of them in all of them. Yeah, as long as you see them like that, those, you know those are good seeds. When they're black at one end, that's good seed right there. And even if they're not, don't look like they're good, I'm going to throw them in the pot anyway, just in case. But yeah, if they're like that, when you pop them open, they got that black in there, and they're tan on the other end, that's good seed. So, and I'm just going to kind of mix them around a little bit to just barely cover up the seed. I'll give them a chance to get down in the dirt a little bit. And that one there, that one needs a little bit more water. So maybe we'll go get some water and put it on there. Because if I don't now, I'll forget about it. And I'm going to go ahead and get a few more of these. I thought I had gathered all of my seeds last year, but these may have been the later ones. Because they are a smaller bush than the ones that were in the backyard. I think I'm, whoops. plants. I always do that. I'm so sorry. This tripod just does not cooperate with me a lot of times. And see, that one doesn't have black on it. Now this one does. So what I'm going to do is throw this one right back down here. And maybe on its own it'll start a flower. If I learn how to quit dropping the camera all the time. And I can imagine you would like it too if I'd stop dropping it all the time. Yeah, these don't look too good. Maybe I can get one out of all of them that's black, that matured. Yep. I guess whatever seed was in there, you'll have to do it. And I think I'll leave it because it doesn't have to come up right now. If we get rain Wednesday, that'll do it. We'll get enough water on them Wednesday. And I haven't noticed any moonflowers coming up from there, but it's still early. Because, you know, that pot was full of moonflowers last year. And I've thrown flower seed in there. And that's probably what that is coming up, is a flower seed of some kind. And that is, I forgot what I put on there. Oh, it's, I can't pronounce it. It's a form of broccoli. And I put it in that pot just to see if it would get started. And yeah, it's coming up. I mean, if it freezes, I may have to go stick it in the greenhouse. But it's in a small pot. I think I can handle that. Yeah, and see how I've done that? I've put all kind of greens and scraps, trying to get those ready to, and that one's real good. It's all broken down. It looks terrible, but I'll tell you what, the plants love it. And I'll be able to water these down a little bit, because that is some strong compost tea right there. That is some good fertilizer for your plants. They will love it. And years ago, I put out wildflower seed. And look at all that. That's all from that wildflower seed. And part of it is baby's breath. And I love to look at it. Only problem is, this stuff, when it puts a flower on it, and I'm not going to be able to pull it out of there. When it puts a flower on it, it leaves a little fuzzy seed. And those seeds will stick to everything that it touches. And I hate that. So I've tried to get rid of it. I guess the one that's not wild does the same thing. But my mom asked me one time, she says, well, why do you pull it out? I said, because you can't get near it without those little fuzzy stickers getting on your clothes. And they're hard as dickens to get them off your clothes or your socks. Other than that, I love it. It's a pretty plant. But yeah, and I don't want to put that in compost tea because that'll put too many seeds in there to start new plants. And I don't know, I've got these little get this tripod set up. I don't want my camera to fall again. But I wanted to show you, I still got plenty of seeds from my clematis. Look at there. 3 seeds on the clematis. Oop, I just dropped one. But see, these were all the little pods that were not dry. Whenever I gathered all the seeds last fall. And they're ready now for harvest. So I probably need to come out here and get them off. Put them in a bowl. And then I can separate the seed from the outer part. Because see, look at all of them. Every one of those little balls is a seed pod. And it's covered in them. On this side too. You know, I made a video on harvesting these seeds. It's like I got most of them over here. But yeah, they'll fall to the ground too. And if they get under the dirt, they'll grow on their own and come up. And these have tried to come up this year, but then it got cold every time they've tried to come up. Because I think this is the kind that, look at all the seed pods up there. I'll probably have a ton of them coming up in the ground here later. But this is the one I think that comes up from the roots back every year. It doesn't put the growth out on the old vine. Because I haven't seen any old new growth on any of the vines here. It's all been coming out of the pot. And like I said, every time it's grown out of the pot or tried to sprout out, it gets cold on us again and it dies off. And I can just do this number and drop them in the pot. Some of them may have already fallen out of the pod and, well, that one didn't. You see there? Look at all those seeds. I mean, part of that is husk, but there's 4 good seeds in that. That one between my fingers is a seed. Those other ones are seeds. And you can see the little husk is about to blow away. But those other ones are seed. I'll just throw them down in there. Maybe they'll come up, make new plants. Because I got plenty of seed in the house in envelopes where I harvested them last year. Before the vine died. Yeah, don't look like the sun's going to shine much today, but you know, sometimes the plants get sun even on a cloudy day. You ever been to the beach on a cloudy day and think you weren't going to get a sunburn or get tanned, and all of a sudden you're sunburnt? Yeah, because even on a cloudy day you can get the sun. And there's my peppermint on the porch. It's doing its best to grow. I think it's going to look pretty up here when it grows and it kind of like falls over the edge of the pot and it kind of traipses down the side of it. I think it'll be real pretty there. I had an elephant ear there one year and it was getting so big it was in the way for everything. And I need to really unplug my lights out here or turn them off. But I've enjoyed having those lights. I mean, I've got a porch light here, but those have been burning ever since Christmas. And I probably need to unplug them or just turn them off. But that's the reason I put up clear white ones so I could leave them up all year. And I've got them around that patio and my carport the same way. So if I need light outside under my carport at any time, I can just turn those clear white Christmas lights on, and it gives me light under there. And those few lights light up my whole porch without being so bright that it hurts your eyes to look at it. So, but anyway, I've been on here for about an hour. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Oh, I know something. I got to go out here and get my seeds. I left my packages of seeds in the pot where I was planting them a while ago. Don't want to leave them out here to get rained on. They'll be sprouting in the package. And I don't know what I'm going to put there. This pot is the one that had the Mother of Millions in it, and it didn't make it through the winter in the greenhouse. It got, even with the light on, it got too cold for that because it doesn't like it under 40 degrees. And I know even with that light on, it got below 40 in that greenhouse. So, but I'm going to leave it because you never know. Something may come back up from the roots. I'll give it its best shot. So, like I said, thank you for hanging out with me this Sunday, midday. And please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed day. I will see you on my next one.